There is something you must hear today before the noise of this world steals your peace again. Stop scrolling for a moment and listen carefully, because this message is not reaching you by accident. You may think this is just another video, another voice, another passing moment in your day. But deep inside your spirit, you already feel it. Something is pulling at your heart. Something is telling you to stay. That something is me. I have watched you carry burdens that no one else knows about. I have seen the silent battles inside your mind. I have seen the nights when you smiled in front of others while secretly falling apart inside. And still, you keep trying to survive another day. Still, you keep pushing forward even when your strength feels almost gone. But today, I need you to stop running from your pain and let me speak to the deepest part of your soul. You have spent too long believing that you are alone. You have listened to voices that told you that you are not enough, that you are too broken, too weak, too lost to be loved fully. But those voices did not come from me. I have never spoken fear over your life. I have never called you worthless. I have never looked at you with disappointment the way you think I do. When I look at you, I see someone precious. I see someone who has been wounded by life, but still carries kindness in their heart. I see someone who has cried in silence, yet continues to care for others. I see someone who feels exhausted from carrying responsibilities, disappointments, fears, and memories that still hurt. And even now, I have not turned away from you. My child, I have stayed beside you through every moment. I was there during the heartbreak that changed you. I was there when people walked away from your life. I was there during the nights you questioned your purpose. I was there when anxiety wrapped around your thoughts like chains. And I am still here now. You keep asking yourself why life has become so heavy. You wonder why certain doors closed. You wonder why prayers seem delayed. You wonder why some wounds took so long to heal. But there are things your eyes cannot yet see. There are moments I protected you without you realizing it. There are storms I kept away from your path. There are people I removed because they would have destroyed the peace I am trying to build inside you. You think every closed door was punishment. Sometimes it was protection. You think every delay meant abandonment. Sometimes it was preparation. I know the future that waits ahead of you, and I refuse to let temporary pain destroy the destiny I placed inside your life. That is why I need you to trust me, even when you do not understand everything. Do not let fear make your decisions anymore. Fear will tell you that nothing will ever change. Fear will whisper that you are stuck forever. Fear will convince you that healing is impossible. But fear is not your master. I am. And I did not create you to live chained to anxiety, regret, guilt, or shame. I created you to walk in peace. I created you to rise again after every fall. I created you to become stronger through every battle. The world has taught you to hide your weakness, but I tell you this, healing begins when you stop pretending that you are okay. I already know the truth about what hurts inside you. You never have to wear a mask with me. Bring me your exhaustion. Bring me your confusion. Bring me your anger. Bring me your tears. Bring me the parts of yourself that you are ashamed of. I am not afraid of your brokenness. In fact, the places where you feel weakest are often the places where my love can transform you the most. Some of you listening right now have been carrying pain from years ago. Words spoken over you still echo inside your mind. Rejection still follows you. Failures still haunt you. But hear me clearly today. Your past is not your identity. What happened to you is not the final chapter of your story. You are not defined by betrayal. You are not defined by mistakes. You are not defined by the moments when life knocked you down. You are defined by the love I continue pouring over your life every single day. Even now, while you listen to these words, I am working inside your heart. I am restoring what fear tried to destroy. I am rebuilding confidence where insecurity once lived. I am planting hope where despair once grew. And though the process may feel slow, do not give up on yourself yet. The strongest souls are often formed in hidden seasons. The deepest faith is often built during painful nights. The greatest transformation usually begins quietly. That is why you must keep going. One day you will look back and realize that the season which almost broke you was actually the season that brought you closer to me than ever before. If these words are touching your spirit right now, type "I trust you" in the comments as a declaration of faith. And remember this, before you leave today, you are not forgotten. You are not abandoned. You are not fighting alone. I am walking beside you even now. Stay until the end of this journey, because these messages are meant to strengthen your heart, renew your mind, and help you walk through life with peace, courage, and faith again. And if these words brought comfort to your soul today, take a moment to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share this message with someone who needs hope tonight. And if you feel happy and encouraged by these words, you can also support this ministry through the link below, so these messages can continue reaching hearts that are hurting and searching for light. There are battles inside you that nobody else can see. People look at your face and think you are fine. They hear your laughter and assume your heart is at peace. They watch you continue with your responsibilities and believe you are strong all the time. But they do not hear the thoughts that keep you awake at night. They do not feel the pressure building inside your chest. They do not see the silent war happening in your mind every single day. But I see it. I see the fear you try to hide. I see the overthinking that steals your rest. I see the memories you replay over and over again. I see the moments when you feel emotionally exhausted, but still force yourself to keep going because you believe you have no other choice. And today I am telling you something your soul desperately needs to hear. You were never created to live trapped inside fear. The enemy has spent too long attacking your thoughts because he knows how powerful your life can become once you finally walk in peace. That is why confusion keeps surrounding your mind. That is why doubt keeps whispering to you. That is why discouragement follows you when you try to move forward. The battle did not begin around you. The battle began within you. Because once a person loses peace in their thoughts, they slowly lose joy in their life. You have allowed worry to become your daily companion. You wake up thinking about problems before the day even begins. You carry stress into places that were meant to bring you happiness. You expect disappointment before good things even happen because pain has trained your heart to prepare for loss. But listen carefully. You cannot heal while constantly feeding your mind with fear. You cannot walk in freedom while agreeing with every negative thought that enters your head. Not every thought deserves your attention. Not every fear speaks the truth. Some thoughts were sent only to weaken your spirit. That is why you must learn to protect your mind. The world around you is filled with noise. People speak fear constantly. News spreads panic. Social media feeds comparison. Voices everywhere tell you that you are falling behind, failing, missing out, or becoming less. And slowly, without realizing it, your heart becomes heavy from carrying things I never asked you to carry. You were not created to live emotionally drained every day. You were created to live connected to my peace. And peace does not mean your life will always be perfect. Peace means you trust me even when life feels uncertain. Some of you listening right now are afraid of the future. You are afraid of failing, afraid of losing people, afraid of being rejected again, afraid that things will never improve, afraid that the dreams inside your heart may never happen. But fear has made you forget how many times I already carried you through impossible situations before. There were seasons you thought would destroy you, yet somehow you survived. There were moments you thought you would never recover from, yet you are still standing. There were nights filled with tears, and still I brought you through them. So why do you keep believing that I will abandon you now? I have never left you. Even during the moments when you doubted me, I stayed near. Even during the moments when you stopped praying, I listened to your heart. Even during the moments when you wanted to give up, I protected your life from collapsing completely. You think your strength kept you alive this far. It was my mercy. And now I need you to stop fighting every battle alone. Some burdens cannot be healed through human strength alone. Some wounds require surrender. Some storms calm down only when you place them into my hands. You spend too much time trying to control everything. You try to control outcomes. You try to control people. You try to control tomorrow before it arrives. And because of that, your mind never rests. But hear this truth today. You are not responsible for carrying the entire weight of your future. That burden belongs to me. Your responsibility is not to control everything. Your responsibility is to trust me one day at a time. Do not ruin today worrying about a tomorrow you cannot yet see. The future is already in my hands, and no delay in your life means I have forgotten you. Some things are taking longer because I am preparing you emotionally, spiritually, and mentally for what you prayed for. You asked for blessings, but blessings require growth. You asked for open doors, but open doors require wisdom. You asked for purpose, but purpose requires strength. And strength is often built in hidden seasons nobody understands. That season you called lonely was preparing your heart. That closed door was protecting your peace. That painful ending was clearing space for something healthier. I know you do not always understand my timing, but you must trust my vision, even when you cannot see the full picture yet. And stop speaking so harshly about yourself. Some of you repeat negative words over your own life every day. I am not enough. I always fail. Nothing good happens for me. I will never change. Those words are planting darkness inside your spirit. Speak life instead. Speak hope instead. Speak faith instead. You may not feel strong right now, but your feelings are not the final truth. You may feel broken, but healing is already beginning. You may feel lost, but I still know exactly where you are. My child, the storm inside your mind does not scare me. I know how to calm chaos. I know how to silence fear. I know how to restore peace in a tired soul. But you must stop allowing fear to sit on the throne of your life. Fear will always exaggerate your problems while hiding my promises from your sight. That is why you must stay close to me daily. Talk to me honestly. Bring me your thoughts before anxiety controls them. Bring me your worries before they grow heavier. Bring me your fears before they become chains around your heart. And little by little, you will notice something changing inside you. The panic will begin losing power. The heaviness will slowly lift. The confusion will begin clearing. Not because life suddenly becomes perfect, but because my peace will begin strengthening you from within. If you believe peace is entering your life today, type peace over fear in the comments. And keep listening until the very end of these messages, because your heart is being renewed one word at a time. There is still healing ahead for you. There were moments when you smiled in front of everyone while secretly breaking inside. Nobody noticed how tired your soul had become. Nobody heard the silent prayers hidden behind your quiet tears. People saw your strength, but they did not see the pain it took to keep standing every day. But I saw it all. I saw the nights when you cried alone. I saw the disappointment you buried deep inside your heart. I saw the moments when you wanted someone to understand what you were feeling, but the words never came out. And today I need you to hear this clearly. Your pain has never been invisible to me. For too long, you believed you had to carry everything alone. You convinced yourself that nobody would understand. So instead of speaking honestly about what hurt you, you learned how to hide it. You became strong for everyone else, while silently neglecting your own heart. But pain buried alive never truly disappears. It waits in silence. It grows heavier in secret. And eventually, it begins affecting the way you think, the way you love, the way you trust, and even the way you see yourself. That is why I'm calling you closer today. Not to shame you, not to condemn you, but to heal you. Because healing begins when you stop pretending that you are unaffected by what wounded you. Some of you are still carrying heartbreak from years ago. You still remember words that damaged your confidence. You still remember betrayal that shattered your trust. You still remember the moment someone made you feel unwanted, abandoned, or replaceable. And even though time has passed, the wound still speaks inside you. Now, fear follows your relationships. Now, insecurity controls your thoughts. Now you struggle to believe that good things can remain in your life. But listen carefully. What hurt you does not have permission to define you forever. You cannot keep building your future around old pain. You cannot keep punishing yourself because of what others did to you. There are people who hurt you because they themselves were lost, broken, selfish, or emotionally blind. Their actions wounded your heart, but their choices were never meant to become your identity. Do not allow temporary pain to permanently change the beautiful person I created you to be. You have spent enough nights questioning your worth. You have spent enough days doubting your value. You have spent enough time blaming yourself for things that were never fully your fault. Now it is time to heal, and healing will require honesty. There are emotions you keep suppressing because you are afraid to face them. Anger, disappointment, loneliness, grief, fear. But avoiding pain does not remove pain, it only hides it deeper. Bring those emotions to me. Speak to me honestly. You do not need perfect words. You do not need polished prayers. You only need an open heart. I already know every thought living inside you anyway. I know the moments when anxiety takes over your mind. I know the moments when sadness suddenly appears for no clear reason. I know the exhaustion you feel from constantly trying to appear okay. My child, you do not have to earn my comfort. You do not have to pretend to deserve love before receiving it from me. I loved you before you became strong. I loved you before you healed. I loved you before you understood your purpose. And I still love you now. That love has never changed. Some of you think healing means forgetting everything that happened, but healing is not forgetting. Healing is learning that your future no longer has to be controlled by your past. Healing is being able to breathe again without carrying constant emotional heaviness. Healing is realizing that what happened to you was painful, but it is not greater than the peace I can build within you now. You ask me why certain things happened. Sometimes the answer will come later. Sometimes it will not fully come at all. But even when life feels unfair, you must remember this. I can still create beauty from broken places. I can restore confidence after rejection. I can rebuild joy after sorrow. I can bring peace after chaos. Nothing in your life is beyond my ability to heal. Even now, while you are listening, I am softening hardened places inside your heart. I am teaching you that vulnerability is not weakness. I am teaching you that resting is not failure. I am teaching you that your value was never based on how much pain you could endure silently. You were never created merely to survive life. You were created to experience peace, love, purpose, and connection. But you must stop isolating yourself emotionally. Some of you push people away before they can hurt you. Some of you hide your true feelings because you fear rejection. Some of you expect abandonment so strongly that you sabotage good things before they fully grow. Pain has taught you to protect yourself constantly, but healing will teach you to trust again. Not everyone who enters your life is sent to destroy you. Not every future chapter will repeat the last painful one. And most importantly, I am still guiding your steps, even when you feel uncertain. Do not rush your healing journey. Wounds take time to recover properly. A heart that has been deeply hurt needs patience, truth, and love. Be gentle with yourself while healing. Stop speaking to yourself with cruelty. Stop calling yourself weak because you feel emotional sometimes. Even strong souls grow tired after carrying invisible burdens too long. And if tears fall sometimes, let them fall. Tears are not proof that you are failing. Sometimes tears are proof that healing has finally begun. The pressure inside your heart cannot stay trapped forever. Release it. Talk to me. Let me carry what has been crushing you silently. There is freedom waiting for you beyond this pain. There is joy waiting beyond this heaviness. There is peace waiting beyond these anxious thoughts. And one day you will realize that the season which made you cry the most also became the season that brought you closest to me. If this message speaks to your heart today, type "Healing begins now" in the comments. And keep watching until the end, because these words are not here to entertain you. They are here to strengthen your spirit, restore your hope, and help you walk through life with greater peace, wisdom, and faith than before. There are things you are carrying right now that were never meant to stay in your hands this long. You carry fear everywhere you go. You carry guilt from old mistakes. You carry pressure to satisfy everyone around you. You carry disappointment from prayers that seemed unanswered. You carry memories that still hurt every time they return to your mind. And slowly, without realizing it, these burdens have been stealing your peace, one day at a time. You wake up tired before the day even begins, because your soul has been fighting battles nonstop. Your body rests sometimes, but your mind keeps running. Your heart keeps worrying. Your spirit keeps carrying invisible weight that nobody else can fully see. But I see it clearly. I see how exhausted you have become from trying to hold everything together. I see the pressure you place on yourself to stay strong all the time. I see the way you blame yourself whenever things go wrong. And today I am asking you something important. How much longer will you keep carrying what is slowly breaking you? You keep trying to fix everything alone. You keep trying to solve tomorrow before tomorrow arrives. You keep replaying old pain as if reliving it will somehow change the past. But all it is doing is draining the life from your spirit. You cannot move forward while constantly dragging the weight of yesterday behind you. Some of you are carrying guilt that I already forgave long ago. You continue punishing yourself for mistakes that no longer define who you are. You repeat them in your mind every day. You allow shame to whisper that you are unworthy of peace, unworthy of love, unworthy of a fresh beginning. But listen carefully. Shame is not my voice. Condemnation is not my voice. Hopelessness is not my voice. I correct you with love, not destruction. I guide you toward growth, not self-hatred. And if I have forgiven you, why do you continue chaining yourself to the past? You cannot heal while constantly reopening old wounds. You cannot receive peace while refusing to let go of guilt. There are lessons in your past, but there is no life waiting for you there. Your future needs your attention now. Some of you are also carrying the weight of other people's opinions. You care so deeply about being accepted that you slowly lose yourself trying to satisfy everyone. You overthink every conversation. You fear disappointing people. You stay silent about your feelings because you do not want conflict. You constantly seek validation because somewhere inside you still question your worth. But hear me today, not everyone will understand your journey. Not everyone will appreciate your heart. Not everyone will recognize your value. And that is okay. Do not build your identity around human approval. People change constantly. Opinions change constantly. But my love for you does not change. When the world misunderstands you, I still know your heart. When others overlook you, I still see you. When others walk away, I remain beside you. So stop exhausting yourself trying to earn acceptance from people who cannot even fully heal themselves. Instead, stay rooted in the truth of who you are. You are loved. You are chosen. You are valuable beyond what this world can measure. My child, another burden destroying your peace is the need to control everything. You fear uncertainty so much that you try to manage every outcome yourself. When things feel unpredictable, anxiety rises inside you immediately. You want answers now. You want guarantees now. You want certainty about the future before taking another step. But faith does not grow through certainty. Faith grows through trust. And trust means believing. I am still guiding you even when you cannot yet see the full path ahead. Some things in your life remain unclear because I am teaching you dependence instead of control. You ask for strength, but strength develops during difficult seasons. You ask for peace, but peace deepens when chaos surrounds you, and you still choose to trust me. You ask for purpose, but purpose often grows quietly during hidden seasons that feel slow and uncomfortable. Do not confuse waiting with abandonment. Just because something has not happened yet does not mean I am ignoring you. There are blessings forming that you cannot yet see. There are doors opening at the right time. There are dangers I am protecting you from without your knowledge. Trust my timing, even when your emotions struggle to understand it. And stop carrying every future problem before it even arrives. Many of your fears are built around things that have not even happened. You suffer inside your imagination long before reality touches you. That is what anxiety does. It convinces you to fight imaginary battles repeatedly. But I did not create you to live imprisoned by what if. What if things work out better than you expected? What if healing truly comes? What if peace finally enters your heart? What if the season ahead carries restoration instead of destruction? You spend so much time preparing for disaster that you rarely prepare your heart for hope. Today, I need you to release the heaviness you have been carrying. Release the fear. Release the guilt. Release the pressure. Release the obsession with controlling everything. Place it into my hands, one burden at a time. You do not have to carry life alone anymore. I am strong enough for what feels impossible to you. I know how to calm your restless thoughts. I know how to restore exhausted hearts. I know how to rebuild lives that feel broken. And even if the process takes time, do not give up now. Your healing is already beginning. Your peace is returning slowly. Your strength is growing quietly. One day you will realize that the burden which almost crushed you became the very thing that taught you how deeply you needed me. If you are ready to let go of what has been stealing your peace, type, "I release it to God" in the comments. And stay until the end of this journey, because these messages are here to help you heal emotionally, grow spiritually, and walk through life with courage, wisdom, and lasting peace again. There are moments in your life that still confuse you. Moments when you prayed with all your heart, yet nothing seemed to change. Moments when you believed something good was finally coming, only to watch it disappear in front of you. Moments when doors closed so suddenly that you stood there wondering what you did wrong. And slowly, disappointment began settling deep inside your spirit. You stopped expecting good things the way you once did. You became careful with hope, careful with trust, careful with dreams, because pain taught you that loss can arrive without warning. But today, I need you to hear something your weary heart has forgotten. A closed door is not always rejection. Sometimes it is protection. Sometimes it is redirection. Sometimes it is preparation for something greater than what you were asking for. You only see the moment. I see the entire path ahead. There are people you begged to stay in your life who would have eventually damaged your peace. There are opportunities you cried over losing that would have slowly pulled you away from your purpose. There are delays that frustrated you because you thought I was ignoring your prayers, when in reality I was protecting your future from timing that was not yet right. You have judged many seasons too early. You called yourself abandoned while I was actually repositioning your life. You called yourself forgotten while I was quietly building strength inside you. You called yourself unlucky while I was keeping you from paths that would have broken your spirit even more deeply. Trust me when I say this, I have never stopped working in your life. Even during silence, I was moving. Even during waiting, I was preparing. Even during heartbreak, I was protecting parts of your soul you could not yet understand. My child, disappointment has made your heart tired. You try not to show it, but inside you sometimes wonder if things will ever truly change. You see others moving forward while your own life feels delayed. You see doors opening for others while you remain waiting. And secretly, comparison has begun stealing your joy. But do not compare your journey to someone else's timing. Every life carries a different assignment. Every soul carries a different process. Some people bloom quickly. Others grow deeply. And deep roots often require longer hidden seasons. Do not mistake hidden growth for failure. Some of the greatest transformations happen where nobody can see them yet. Right now, I am developing wisdom inside you. I am teaching you endurance, I am strengthening your faith. I am showing you how to depend on me instead of temporary things. Because blessings without maturity can destroy people. Success without peace can empty people. Open doors without wisdom can mislead people. So before I release certain things into your hands, I first prepare your heart to carry them properly. That waiting season you resent so much has been teaching you more than you realize. It taught you patience. It taught you discernment. It taught you who truly cares for you. It taught you that your strength does not come from people, but from me. And though the process felt painful, it was not pointless. Nothing you experienced was wasted. Not the tears, not the heartbreak, not the loneliness, not the confusion. I can use every painful chapter to shape a wiser, stronger, and more compassionate version of you. But you must stop believing the lie that your story is over. Some of you already gave up emotionally. You continue living physically, but inwardly, you stopped expecting joy. You stopped dreaming boldly. You stopped believing life could improve. Disappointment slowly convinced you that surviving is the best you can hope for. But I did not create you merely to survive. I created you to live with purpose, to live with peace, to live with hope. And hope is not foolish when it is placed in me. I know life wounded your expectations before. I know certain prayers broke your heart when the answer did not come the way you wanted. But trust me carefully here. Not every unanswered prayer was a punishment. Sometimes I said no because I could see what you could not. Sometimes I delayed things because your heart needed healing first. Sometimes I removed people because your future could not survive their presence. And sometimes I allowed uncomfortable seasons because comfort would have kept you spiritually asleep. There are lessons that only difficult seasons can teach. And though those seasons hurt, they also shaped you into someone stronger than you were before. You are not the same person you used to be. You have survived things that once looked impossible. You have carried burdens that should have broken you completely. And still, you are here. Still breathing. Still fighting. Still searching for light. That alone is proof that I have never abandoned you. The enemy wanted your disappointment to destroy your faith. He wanted pain to harden your heart. He wanted waiting seasons to make you quit. But you are still standing because my hand remained over your life even during the darkest moments. And now, I need you to trust me again. Not halfway. Not only when life feels easy. Trust me fully. Trust me when answers feel delayed. Trust me when healing feels slow. Trust me when doors close unexpectedly. Trust me when your path feels unclear, because I can see what your human eyes cannot yet understand. One day you will look back and realize that what felt like rejection was actually rescue. What felt like delay was actually preparation. What felt like loss was making space for something healthier, stronger, and more aligned with your purpose. If this message speaks directly to your spirit today, type God's timing is perfect in the comments, and continue watching until the very end, because these words are not here only to comfort you temporarily. They are here to help rebuild your faith, strengthen your heart, and guide you toward a life filled with peace, wisdom, healing, and hope again. And if these messages are helping your life, take a moment to share this video with someone who may be struggling silently right now. Like and subscribe so you never miss these moments of encouragement. And if you feel moved to support this ministry and help these messages continue reaching hurting hearts around the world, you can use the support link below. There was a season in your life when you truly believed you would not make it through. You remember it clearly. The nights felt longer. The silence felt heavier. Your heart carried pain you could not explain to anyone properly. You smiled around people, but deep inside, you felt empty. You prayed, but sometimes it seemed like heaven was silent. You kept asking yourself where I was, while everything around you felt like it was falling apart. But I was there. I never stepped away from you, not for 1 second. Even when you could not feel my presence, my hand remained over your life. You think I only stay close during your strongest moments, but I am nearest during the moments when your soul feels weakest. I saw every tear you wiped away quickly so nobody would ask questions. I heard every silent cry hidden behind your fake smile. I watched you fight battles in your mind that nobody around you even knew existed. And still, you survived. Not because you were strong enough alone, but because I carried you when your strength began failing. There were days when your mind became your greatest battlefield. Fear spoke louder than faith. Anxiety stole your peace before the day even started. You imagined worst-case scenarios constantly. Your thoughts exhausted you more than your responsibilities did. And slowly, you started losing yourself. You became emotionally tired, spiritually drained, mentally overwhelmed. Some of you listening right now still feel that way. You wake up exhausted before life even asks anything from you. You feel pressure constantly. Pressure to succeed. Pressure to stay strong. Pressure to heal quickly. Pressure to have everything figured out. But hear me carefully today. You were never meant to carry all of life on your shoulders alone. That pressure is crushing your peace. You keep trying to become everything for everyone while neglecting your own soul. You help others while secretly bleeding emotionally yourself. You encourage people while quietly feeling discouraged inside. My child, I see the hidden exhaustion nobody else notices. I see the moments when you sit alone trying to convince yourself to keep going. I see the emotional weight you carry from old disappointments. I see how difficult it has become for you to trust fully again after everything you experienced. But do not allow pain to convince you that your future will always feel this heavy. This season is not your permanent home. You are healing even if progress feels slow. Sometimes healing happens quietly, slowly, deeply. Not all transformation is visible immediately. A seed underground looks invisible before growth appears above the surface. And, in the same way, I have been growing strength inside you during hidden seasons. You may not see it yet, but you have changed. You are wiser now, more discerning now, more compassionate now. You have learned things through pain that comfort never could have taught you. That difficult season made you stronger than you realize. It taught you who truly stands beside you during hard times. It taught you that temporary things cannot fully satisfy your soul. It taught you how desperately you need peace beyond human understanding. And most importantly, it taught you that I remain faithful even during uncertainty. Some of you are frustrated because your healing journey is taking longer than expected. You thought you would already feel better by now. You thought peace would return faster. You thought the sadness would disappear immediately. But healing is not always instant. Some wounds heal layer by layer. Some scars require patience. Some battles require daily surrender. Do not become discouraged just because restoration takes time. You are not failing because you still have emotional struggles. Growth is happening even when it feels slow. And stop condemning yourself every time you fall emotionally. Some days you feel strong. Other days you feel tired again. Some days faith feels easy. Other days doubt tries returning. That does not mean I stop loving you. That does not mean your progress disappeared. It simply means you are human. And humans need grace. You keep expecting perfection from yourself, while I am simply asking you to stay close to me. I never asked you to carry perfection. I asked you to carry faith. Even small faith matters to me. Even tired prayers matter to me. Even quiet tears matter to me. Nothing about your pain is ignored in my eyes. I know there are moments when loneliness still visits your heart. You can stand in crowded rooms and still feel emotionally unseen. You can laugh in conversations while secretly wondering if anyone truly understands what you carry inside. But you are not invisible to me. I know the version of you that nobody else sees. I know the fears hidden behind your confidence. I know the sadness hidden behind your kindness. I know the emotional wounds hidden behind your silence. And I still love you completely. Not partially. Not conditionally. completely. You do not have to earn my compassion. You do not have to pretend to deserve my mercy. I already chose you, knowing every flaw, every weakness, every struggle, and I am not changing my mind about you now. The enemy wants you to believe you are too broken to recover, too damaged to heal, too far gone to change. But he is lying to you. There is still purpose over your life. There is still joy waiting ahead of you. There is still peace that can fill your heart again. And there is still light beyond this dark season. Do not stop now. Do not give up on yourself now. You have already survived too much to quit here. One day you will speak about this season differently. What once felt like destruction will become proof of how faithfully I carried you through impossible moments. If you believe brighter days are still ahead for your life, type "God is carrying me through" in the comments. And stay with these messages until the very end, because every word is here to strengthen your spirit, restore your hope, and help you walk through life with greater peace, healing, wisdom, and faith than before. There are moments when you quietly wonder if your life truly matters. You see others celebrated while your own efforts go unnoticed. You watch people receive support while you struggle silently. You pray, you wait, you try to stay faithful, and yet sometimes it feels like nobody truly sees how hard you are fighting just to keep your heart together. But I see everything. I see every silent sacrifice. I see every hidden tear. I see every moment you chose kindness while carrying pain inside yourself. Nothing about your life has been invisible to me. You may feel overlooked by people, but you are not overlooked by heaven. Some of you listening right now feel emotionally forgotten, not because people hate you, but because life has become lonely in ways you never expected. You learned how to survive without being fully understood. You learned how to comfort yourself because others did not always know how to show up for you. And slowly, loneliness began speaking lies into your spirit. It told you that you are unimportant. It told you that nobody truly cares. It told you that your presence does not make a difference, but loneliness does not speak truth. I do. And I tell you now that your life carries purpose far beyond what you can currently see. There are people who smiled again because of your kindness. There are hearts you encouraged without realizing it. There are moments your presence brought peace to others, even while you secretly struggled yourself. Do not underestimate the light you carry. The world often celebrates loud success while ignoring quiet faithfulness. But I notice the things others miss. I see the compassion you show when nobody is watching. I see the patience you offer during difficult moments. I see the love you continue giving despite the pain you have experienced. And I am proud of the strength you do not even recognize inside yourself. My child, stop believing that your value depends on human recognition. People may overlook you. People may misunderstand you. People may fail to appreciate your heart. But none of that changes your worth. Your worth was never created by people, so people cannot take it away. You are valuable because I created you intentionally. I formed your heart with purpose. I placed gifts inside your spirit for a reason. Even your sensitivity has purpose. Even your compassion has purpose. Even your past pain will one day help heal someone else. Nothing in your life is accidental. The enemy wants you to believe your story is small, meaningless, and forgettable, because he fears what will happen once you finally understand who you truly are. He fears your healing. He fears your growth. He fears your peace. He fears the confidence that will rise once you stop seeing yourself through the eyes of rejection. That is why he constantly attacks your identity. He reminds you of failures. He magnifies insecurities. He makes you compare yourself to others, because comparison steals joy faster than almost anything else. When you compare your life to someone else's journey, you begin dishonoring the unique path I designed specifically for you. You were never meant to become somebody else. You were created to become fully yourself. And the world needs the version of you that walks in truth instead of insecurity. Some of you hide your gifts Because fear convinced you that you are not good enough. You stay silent when you should speak. You shrink yourself to avoid criticism. You doubt your abilities before even trying. But hear me clearly today. Fear has delayed enough of your life already. Stop waiting until you feel perfect before moving forward. Stop waiting until every insecurity disappears before believing in yourself. Growth happens while walking, not while hiding. And even if you fail sometimes, failure does not cancel your purpose. It teaches you, strengthens you, refines you. Some of the strongest people you admire today were shaped through painful seasons nobody else saw. Do not become ashamed of your process. You are still becoming. You are still healing. You are still learning who you are, beyond pain, fear, and disappointment. And I am patient with your journey. I know you sometimes feel emotionally exhausted from always being strong for others. People lean on you often, but few ask how you are doing deeply inside. You carry responsibilities quietly. You help others while neglecting your own emotional needs. But you cannot continue pouring from an empty soul forever. You also need rest. You also need healing. You also deserve peace. Do not feel guilty for taking care of your own heart too. Rest is not weakness. Rest is wisdom. Even now, I am calling you into deeper peace. Not temporary distraction. Not fake happiness. Real peace. The kind that remains even when life feels uncertain. The kind that steadies your heart during storms. The kind that reminds you that you are never carrying life alone. You have spent enough years doubting yourself. Enough years questioning your worth. Enough years allowing old wounds to define your confidence. Now it is time to see yourself differently. Not through rejection, not through failure, not through fear, but through my love. And my love says, you are chosen. My love says, you are valuable. My love says, your story still matters. Do not let temporary seasons convince you that your future is empty. I still have plans for your life. There are connections you have not met yet, blessings you have not seen yet, healing you have not experienced yet, purpose you have not fully discovered yet. Your story is still unfolding, and one day you will realize that the season where you felt forgotten became the season where I quietly rebuilt your identity from the inside out. If this message reaches your heart today, type, I am chosen in the comments, and continue watching until the end, because these messages are here to strengthen your spirit, restore your confidence, and help you walk through life knowing that you are deeply loved, valuable, and never forgotten by God. You have searched for peace in many places. You searched for it in people. You searched for it in success. You searched for it in distractions. You searched for it in money, relationships, achievements, and constant busyness. Yet somehow, even after gaining certain things you once prayed for, your heart still felt restless. Because the peace your soul truly needs cannot be built on temporary things. Temporary things change too quickly. People change. Situations change. Feelings change. The world changes constantly. And if your peace depends only on circumstances, then your heart will always remain vulnerable to fear. That is why I want to teach you something deeper today. Real peace is not the absence of problems. Real peace is knowing you are not facing life alone. Some of you are exhausted because your mind never truly rests. Even during quiet moments, your thoughts continue racing. You overthink conversations, you replay mistakes, you imagine problems before they happen. Your body sits still while your mind continues fighting invisible battles. And slowly, anxiety steals joy from moments that were meant to bring you life. But I never created you to live imprisoned by constant worry. Fear has become so normal in your life that you almost believe peace is impossible for you now. But peace is still possible. Even after heartbreak, even after disappointment, even after betrayal, even after painful seasons. Do not let your past convince you that your future must remain heavy forever. My child, Many of the battles inside your mind are growing because you keep feeding them attention. You give fear more focus than faith. You meditate on worst-case scenarios more than my promises. You spend hours thinking about what could go wrong instead of remembering how many times I already carried you through impossible situations before. Look back at your life carefully. There were moments you thought would destroy you completely. Moments when you believed you would never recover emotionally. Moments when the pain felt unbearable. Yet here you are, still alive, still moving forward, still searching for hope. That alone is proof that I have never abandoned you. The same hand that carried you through previous storms will continue carrying you now. But you must stop expecting peace to arrive while constantly surrounding yourself with chaos. Protect your spirit. Protect your mind. Not every voice deserves access to your heart. Some environments drain you unnecessarily. Some conversations increase your anxiety. Some people keep reopening wounds. I have been trying to heal inside you. Wisdom means learning what deserves space in your life and what does not. You do not have to attend every argument. You do not have to explain yourself to everyone. You do not have to carry emotional responsibility for every person around you. Sometimes peace requires distance from things that continually damage your spirit. And do not confuse peace with weakness. Walking away from constant negativity is not weakness. Setting boundaries is not selfishness. Resting when your soul feels exhausted is not failure. I never asked you to destroy yourself while trying to save everyone else. Some of you carry pressure because you feel responsible for fixing everybody's problems. You absorb people's pain until your own heart becomes overwhelmed. You give endlessly while secretly becoming empty inside. But you cannot pour endlessly from a drained soul. You also need renewal. You also need healing. You also need moments where your spirit can breathe again. That is why I keep calling you closer to me. Because only my peace can fully restore the places life keeps exhausting. The world offers temporary escapes. I offer lasting peace. The world teaches you to numb your pain. I teach you to heal from it. The world tells you to depend only on yourself. I remind you that you were never meant to carry life alone. There are things weighing on your heart right now that you have not fully released to me yet. You say you trust me, but secretly you still hold on to fear. You pray, but then continue carrying the same anxiety afterward. You ask for peace while constantly feeding panic. True surrender means trusting me even after you pray. It means believing I am working even when answers feel delayed. It means choosing faith while uncertainty still exists. And yes, uncertainty can feel uncomfortable. But uncertainty does not mean I lost control. I still see every detail of your future clearly. I know the doors opening ahead of you. I know the healing waiting ahead of you. I know the people I am removing for your protection. I know the blessings developing quietly behind the scenes. Nothing about your life is random to me. Even this current season has purpose. Even this waiting season has meaning. Sometimes I slow things down because your soul needs restoration before the next chapter begins. You ask me for bigger blessings while secretly carrying wounds that still need healing. But I care about your heart more than temporary success, because success without peace becomes another burden. That is why I am teaching you how to rest emotionally in me first. Not every battle deserves your energy. Not every thought deserves your agreement. Not every fear deserves your attention. Some things must simply be released. Released into my hands. Released into my care. Released into my timing. And when you finally stop carrying everything alone, you will notice something beautiful happening inside you. Your breathing becomes lighter. Your thoughts become calmer. Your heart becomes steadier. Not because life suddenly became perfect, but because my peace begins strengthening you from within. If you are ready to walk in deeper peace today, type "God is my peace" in the comments. And continue watching until the very end, because these messages are here to help heal your heart, renew your mind, strengthen your faith, and guide you toward a life filled with greater peace, wisdom, purpose, and emotional freedom. There have been many moments when you looked at yourself and saw only weakness. You focused on your failures. You focused on your fears. You focused on the times you fell short, the times you broke down, the times you could not hold everything together anymore. And because of that, you slowly began believing the lie that you are not strong enough for the life in front of you. But listen carefully today, weakness is not the absence of strength. Sometimes weakness is proof that you have been carrying too much for too long. You judge yourself harshly because you became tired. You criticize yourself because you became emotional. You feel ashamed because you struggled mentally during difficult seasons. But even the strongest souls become exhausted after fighting invisible battles continuously. You have survived things people never fully understood. You carried heartbreak while still showing up for others. You fought anxiety while still trying to smile. You walked through disappointment while still attempting to keep faith alive inside your heart. And somehow, despite everything that tried to crush you, you are still here. That is not weakness. That is resilience. My child, you keep waiting to feel fearless before moving forward in life. But courage does not mean fear disappears completely. Courage means you continue walking even while fear whispers in your ear. Some of the strongest people are not those who never cry. They are the ones who keep going after crying, the ones who rise again after disappointment, the ones who continue loving after being hurt, the ones who continue trusting me even after painful seasons confused them deeply. And that is exactly what you have been doing. You may not realize it yet, but your endurance has already become proof of strength. The enemy constantly tries to remind you of your lowest moments because he wants you to forget how far you have already come. He magnifies your failures while ignoring your growth. He points at your scars while hiding the strength those scars created inside you. But I see the full picture. I see how much wiser you have become. I see how pain increased your compassion. I see how suffering deepened your understanding of others. I see how difficult seasons strengthened parts of your spirit that comfort never could have developed. Nothing you survived was meaningless. Even your darkest battles taught you something valuable. Some seasons taught you discernment. Some seasons taught you patience. Some seasons taught you who truly belongs in your life. And some seasons taught you that your strength ultimately comes from me, not from human approval, success, or control. You often think strength means never struggling emotionally. But true strength is learning how to keep trusting me while healing slowly. True strength is continuing to hope after disappointment. True strength is refusing to let bitterness poison your heart after painful experiences. That kind of strength is already growing inside you. Do not overlook your own progress just because you are not fully healed yet. Healing is a journey. Growth is a process. And transformation takes time. You become frustrated because you compare your current chapter to someone else's visible success. But you do not know the battles they fought privately. You do not know the process behind their growth. And most importantly, their assignment is not your assignment. I never asked you to become somebody else. I asked you to become the person I created you to be. And that journey requires patience. Some of you keep calling yourself weak because you still have emotional scars. But scars are proof that wounds survived healing. Scars are not symbols of defeat. They are reminders that pain did not destroy you completely. You are still standing, still breathing, still searching for hope, still listening for my voice. And that matters more than you realize. There are people who gave up completely during the kind of battles you survived. Yet somehow, I kept carrying you forward, even during moments when you wanted to quit. Do not dishonor your journey by speaking about yourself with constant negativity. Stop saying you are worthless. Stop saying nothing good can happen for you. Stop saying you will never change. Your words carry power, and many of the thoughts you repeat daily are shaping the condition of your spirit. Speak life over yourself instead. Speak healing over yourself. Speak peace over yourself. Not because life is always easy, but because I am still working within you. You may feel emotionally tired right now, but tired does not mean defeated. You may feel uncertain right now, but uncertain does not mean abandoned. You may feel weak right now, but weakness is often where my strength shines most clearly through your life. Do not hide your struggles from me. Bring them close. Bring me your doubts. Bring me your exhaustion. Bring me your fears about the future. I am not disappointed by your humanity. I already knew every battle you would face before I called you mine, and I still chose you fully. Some of you are afraid of trying again because failure hurt you deeply before. You fear rejection. You fear disappointment. You fear looking foolish if things do not work out. But hear this truth carefully. Failure is not the end of your story. One setback does not cancel your purpose. One painful season does not erase your future. One closed door does not mean your life is finished. There are still opportunities waiting ahead. Still, blessings forming quietly. Still, healing developing within your heart. Still, purpose attached to your life. Do not let temporary pain convince you that permanent defeat is your future, because it is not. You are becoming stronger than you realize. Stronger emotionally, stronger spiritually, stronger mentally. And one day you will look back at this difficult season and recognize that the very battles you thought would destroy you actually revealed the strength I had already placed inside you all along. If you believe God is strengthening you through every battle, type, "I am stronger through God," in the comments, and stay until the end, because these messages are here to restore your confidence, strengthen your spirit, heal your heart, and help you walk through life with greater faith, wisdom, peace, and courage than ever before. There are things happening in your life right now that you do not fully understand. You pray for answers, but silence meets you. You ask for direction, but the path still feels unclear. You wait for change, yet the situation around you seems the same day after day. And because you cannot see movement, you start believing nothing is happening. But just because you cannot see my work does not mean I have stopped working. There are seasons where the greatest miracles happen quietly, under the surface, behind closed doors, far beyond what your eyes can currently understand. You often want immediate answers because uncertainty makes your heart uncomfortable. You want proof that everything will be okay before taking another step forward. You want guarantees that the future will not hurt you again. But faith does not grow through complete visibility. Faith grows when you continue trusting me, even while the full picture remains hidden. My child, there are blessings developing around your life that are not ready to appear yet. There are prayers already moving toward fulfillment. There are doors slowly opening. There are dangers I am protecting you from without your knowledge. There are people I am removing because their presence would have damaged your peace later. There are lessons I am teaching you now that will become necessary for the future you are praying for. Nothing about your life is random, not the waiting, not the delay, not the closed doors, not even the painful seasons. I can use every part of your story for growth if you continue walking with me. But the enemy wants you to grow discouraged during seasons where progress feels invisible. He wants you to assume silence means abandonment. He wants frustration to harden your heart until you stop expecting good things from me. Do not fall into that trap. I have never forgotten you. Even during the moments when your prayers felt unanswered, I was listening carefully. Even during the moments when life confused you deeply, I was guiding your steps. Even during your darkest nights, I was protecting your future in ways you could not see. You judge your life based only on what is visible today. But I see years ahead. I see consequences before they happen. I see what certain relationships would eventually do to your spirit. I see what certain opportunities would cost your peace. I see the future version of you that is still growing through today's struggles. That is why my timing sometimes feels difficult to understand. You call it delay. I call it preparation. You call it rejection. I call it protection. You call it silence. I call it hidden work. And one day you will look back at certain seasons and thank me for not answering some prayers exactly the way you wanted. Because later, you will finally understand what I was protecting you from. Some of you are emotionally exhausted because you keep trying to force things that I never intended to stay in your life permanently. You chase people who continuously hurt your heart. You hold on to situations that keep draining your peace. You fight to reopen doors I intentionally closed for your future protection. But not everything lost needs to return. Some endings were necessary. Some separations were mercy. Some disappointments became the beginning of your healing, even though you could not recognize it at first. Trust me enough to release what keeps harming your spirit. I know letting go feels painful sometimes. I know uncertainty feels frightening. But clinging to unhealthy things will only delay the peace I am trying to build inside you. You keep asking for peace while holding tightly to chaos. You keep asking for healing while reopening old wounds repeatedly. You keep asking for freedom while staying emotionally attached to what keeps hurting you. But healing requires surrender. Peace requires trust. And growth sometimes requires letting go. I know there are nights when fear still visits your thoughts. Nights when anxiety whispers worst-case scenarios into your mind. Nights when loneliness feels heavier than usual. But do not believe every fearful thought that enters your mind. Fear exaggerates problems while hiding my promises from your sight. That is why you must remain close to me daily. Feed your spirit with truth instead of panic. Feed your heart with faith instead of endless worry. The more time you spend focused only on fear, the heavier your life will feel emotionally. You were not created to carry constant dread. You were created to walk with confidence that I remain beside you. Even now, while you listen to these words, things are shifting quietly around your life. Strength is growing within you. Wisdom is developing within you. Discernment is increasing within you. And though the process feels slow, transformation is happening. Some growth cannot happen publicly. Some healing requires hidden seasons. A tree develops strong roots underground long before visible fruit appears above the surface. And in the same way, I am strengthening the unseen parts of your life first, because I care more about your foundation than temporary appearances. The world celebrates visible success quickly, but I focus on lasting transformation. I want your peace to last, your faith to last, your healing to last, your joy to last. And deep things often take time to build properly. So stop doubting your progress simply because everything has not changed overnight. You are not abandoned. You are not stuck forever. You are not forgotten. You are in a season of preparation. And preparation seasons often feel uncomfortable before the breakthrough arrives. If this message is speaking directly into your heart today, type "God is working behind the scenes" in the comments, and continue watching until the very end, because these messages are here to strengthen your spirit, deepen your faith, heal emotional wounds, and help guide your life toward greater peace, wisdom, restoration, and purpose. And if these words are helping you grow spiritually and emotionally, take a moment to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share this message with someone who may need encouragement right now. And if you feel led to support this ministry so these messages can continue reaching hearts across the world, you can use the support link below. There are dreams inside your heart that fear keeps trying to silence. Dreams you stopped talking about. Prayers you almost gave up on. Goals you buried because disappointment convinced you they would never happen. And slowly, without realizing it, fear began making decisions for your life. Fear told you not to try again. Fear told you to stay small. Fear told you to expect failure before you even began. Fear told you that if you opened your heart again, you would only get hurt. But hear me carefully today. Fear was never meant to lead your life. I did not create you to live trapped inside constant worry, hesitation, and self-doubt. I created you to walk forward with faith, even when the future feels uncertain. My child, the enemy understands something about you that you often forget about yourself. There is purpose attached to your life. There is influence attached to your voice. There is healing attached to your future. And because of that, fear keeps attacking your confidence. Fear knows that once you begin believing what I say about you, your life will start changing in powerful ways. That is why fear constantly reminds you of past failures. It replays old mistakes. It magnifies rejection. It whispers worst-case scenarios repeatedly until your heart feels exhausted before you even move forward. Fear wants to keep you emotionally frozen. But I am calling you out of that prison today. You cannot keep allowing yesterday's pain to control tomorrow's possibilities. Not every new chapter will repeat the last painful one. Not every person will betray you. Not every opportunity will fail. Not every season will end in heartbreak. You have spent too much time expecting disaster because of what happened in the past. But healing means learning how to hope again without constantly preparing for destruction. I know disappointment changed parts of your heart. I know betrayal made trust difficult. I know failure wounded your confidence. But pain was never meant to become your permanent identity. You survived those moments for a reason, not to remain trapped in fear forever, but to become stronger, wiser, and more dependent on me. Some of you are waiting until fear disappears completely before taking action. But courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is choosing faith while fear still whispers in the background. Some of the greatest moments in your future will begin with uncomfortable steps of faith. You may feel nervous. You may feel uncertain. You may not have every answer immediately. But if I am guiding your path, you do not need to know everything ahead of time. Trust grows step by step. And often, clarity comes after obedience. You ask me to reveal the full picture before moving forward, but many times I only show the next step because I want you to walk closely with me instead of depending entirely on your own understanding. You keep thinking you must become fearless to fulfill your purpose. But even strong people feel afraid sometimes. The difference is, they do not let fear control their decisions. Do not surrender your future to anxiety. Do not let insecurity stop you from becoming who I created you to be. You are capable of more than fear wants you to believe. Some of you have already survived situations you once thought would completely destroy you. Yet here you are, still standing, still breathing, still hoping, still listening for my voice. That means there is still purpose ahead. There is still life ahead. There are still blessings you have not seen yet. And yes, there will still be challenges in front of you. But challenges do not mean abandonment. Storms do not mean I stopped protecting you. Difficult seasons do not cancel the promises I placed over your life. You are not walking through life alone. I am still leading you. Even when the road feels unfamiliar, even when answers feel delayed, even when fear tries to convince you that nothing good is waiting ahead. I know the future better than your anxiety does. Fear always focuses on what could go wrong. Faith remembers who is walking beside you. That is why you must guard your thoughts carefully. Some of your greatest battles are happening inside your mind before they ever happen around you physically. You defeat yourself internally long before life even touches you sometimes. But your thoughts do not have to control you forever. Bring fearful thoughts to me quickly. Do not feed them constantly. Do not meditate on disaster all day. Feed your spirit with truth instead. Remember how many times I already carried you through impossible situations before. Remember how many prayers I already answered in ways you did not expect. Remember how many storms you already survived. The same God who protected you before is still protecting you now. And stop underestimating the strength I placed inside you. You may feel emotionally tired right now, but tiredness is not weakness. You may feel uncertain, but uncertainty is not failure. You may feel afraid, but fear does not define your identity. You are still chosen, still loved, still guided by my hand. and no amount of fear can cancel the purpose I attach to your life. One day, you will look back at the fears that once controlled you and realize they were much smaller than the future I was preparing ahead of you. Do not quit before seeing what I can still do through your life. Do not surrender your dreams because of temporary fear. Do not close your heart because of previous pain. Your story is still unfolding, and there is far more ahead of you than what currently stands behind you. If you are ready to stop letting fear control your future, type, "I will walk by faith" in the comments, and continue watching until the very end, because these messages are here to strengthen your heart, heal emotional wounds, renew your confidence, and help you walk through life with greater peace, wisdom, courage, and faith every single day. There are memories that still try to speak over your life. Moments you wish never happened. Mistakes you wish you could erase. Conversations you still replay inside your mind late at night. And even though time has passed, part of you still feels chained to those painful chapters. You keep looking backward with regret, backward with shame, backward with sadness, as if your past still has the authority to define who you are becoming. But hear me carefully today. Your past no longer owns you. What happened to you may have wounded your heart, but it does not have permission to control your future forever. Some of you carry guilt so heavily that you struggle to receive peace fully. You remember wrong decisions. You remember seasons where you drifted away from me. You remember times when fear, anger, or weakness led you down painful paths. And because of that, you secretly wonder if you truly deserve a new beginning. But grace was never something you could earn. If perfection were required for my love, nobody would qualify. I already knew every mistake you would make before I called you mine. I already knew every weakness, every failure, every hidden struggle, and I still chose you completely. My child, stop punishing yourself for what I have already forgiven. You continue reopening wounds that I already covered with mercy. You continue carrying shame that I already told you to release. You continue defining yourself by moments that no longer represent who you are becoming. That is not freedom. That is emotional imprisonment. And I want more for your life than constant guilt. The enemy constantly drags your attention backward because he fears what will happen once you finally move forward in healing. He wants you trapped in regret because regret drains strength from your future. He wants you replaying painful memories until hopelessness takes root inside your heart. But you cannot build peace while constantly living inside old pain. You cannot receive new beginnings while refusing to let go of yesterday. Some chapters needed to end. Some versions of you needed to break apart. Some painful experiences became the very thing that awakened deeper wisdom inside your spirit. You ask why certain seasons hurt so deeply, but many of those seasons were shaping you into someone stronger than before. You are not the same person you once were. Pain changed you. Growth changed you. Life changed you. And though some changes came through difficult seasons, not all change is destruction. Some changes are transformation. Some changes are healing. Some changes are preparation for the future, waiting ahead of you. Stop speaking about yourself as though your life ended at your worst moment. One failure did not cancel your purpose. One heartbreak did not destroy your value. One painful chapter did not erase the destiny I placed over your life. There is still purpose ahead of you, still joy ahead of you, still peace ahead of you, still love ahead of you. But you must stop looking at yourself only through the lens of your scars. Your scars are part of your story, but they are not the full story. I see beyond your broken moments. I see your resilience. I see the compassion your pain created inside you. I see the wisdom you gained through difficult seasons. I see strength developing even while you still feel emotionally tired. Nothing you survived was wasted. Even your darkest nights taught you something valuable. And one day, Parts of your story that once caused shame will become testimony that helps heal somebody else. Do not underestimate how powerfully I can use redeemed pain. Some of the most compassionate people are those who once suffered deeply themselves. Some of the strongest people are those who learned how to stand after being broken emotionally. Some of the brightest lights shine from hearts that once walked through darkness. That includes you. I know there are moments when old memories suddenly return and make your heart heavy again. I know there are days when regret tries to convince you that you are disqualified from peace. But listen carefully. Your mistakes are not greater than my mercy. Your past is not stronger than my grace. And your future is not destroyed simply because life became messy. I specialize in restoring broken things, restoring tired hearts, restoring wounded minds, restoring people who thought they were too far gone to heal. You are not beyond restoration. You are not beyond forgiveness. You are not beyond hope. And do not confuse healing with pretending the past never hurt you. Healing means the pain no longer controls your identity. Healing means the memory no longer owns your future. Healing means you finally believe that your life can still carry beauty after brokenness. That is the freedom I want for you. Not fake perfection. Real freedom. Freedom from shame. Freedom from constant self-hatred. Freedom from believing you are forever defined by old mistakes. You are becoming someone new, someone wiser, someone stronger, someone more deeply rooted in truth than fear. But transformation requires that you stop returning emotionally to places I already called you out of. You cannot fully step into peace while constantly revisiting chains I already broke. Today, I need you to release the past into my hands again, not partially. Fully. Release the regret. Release the shame. Release the self-condemnation. Release the belief that you are beyond redemption. Because you are not. I am still writing your story, and I have not reached the best chapters yet. If you believe God is giving you a new beginning, type, "My past does not define me," in the comments, and continue listening until the very end, because these messages are here to renew your heart, restore your faith, heal emotional wounds, and help guide your life toward lasting peace, purpose, freedom, and hope again. There are wounds inside you that nobody truly knows about. Hidden pain, silent disappointments, private struggles you learned to carry quietly because explaining them became too exhausting. People see your outside appearance, but they do not see the battles happening deep within your heart. They do not see the nights when your thoughts become heavy. They do not see the emotional weight you carry while still trying to function normally every day. But I see everything clearly. I see the wounds you never talk about. I see the fear hidden behind your smile. I see the loneliness that sometimes follows you, even in crowded rooms. And today, I want you to know something important. I am healing the parts of you that nobody else understands. Some pain cannot be fixed through distractions. Some wounds cannot heal through pretending. You tried ignoring certain emotions. You tried burying certain memories. You tried convincing yourself that you were fine. But suppressed pain eventually finds its way back to the surface. That is why your soul has felt so tired lately. You have been carrying emotional burdens for too long without fully releasing them to me. My child, healing begins where honesty begins. You do not need to impress me with perfect words. You do not need to hide your struggles from me. You do not need to act spiritually strong every moment. I already know the truth inside your heart. I know the fears you never say aloud. I know the moments when anxiety suddenly overwhelms you. I know the memories that still hurt unexpectedly. And I am not turning away from you because of any of it. You keep thinking your brokenness makes you difficult to love. But I move closest to wounded hearts. I stay near exhausted souls. I comfort people who feel emotionally weak. That is who I am. The world often teaches people to hide weakness because vulnerability feels unsafe. So you learned how to survive by building emotional walls. You became careful about trusting people, careful about opening your heart, careful about believing anyone would stay consistently. And after enough disappointment, you stopped expecting deep peace entirely. But the walls protecting your pain are also blocking healing from reaching certain parts of your life. You cannot fully heal while hiding every wound. You cannot fully receive love while expecting abandonment constantly. And you cannot fully walk in freedom while carrying unhealed pain everywhere you go. Some of you are exhausted because you spend so much energy pretending you are unaffected. Pretending betrayal did not hurt. Pretending rejection did not wound your confidence. Pretending disappointment did not shake your faith. But I never asked you to deny your pain. I asked you to bring it to me. Bring me the grief you still carry. Bring me the confusion. Bring me the exhaustion. Bring me the fear that keeps returning late at night. You were never meant to carry all of this alone. And stop condemning yourself because healing takes time. You become frustrated with your emotions sometimes. You think you should already be over it by now. You criticize yourself whenever sadness returns unexpectedly. But healing is not always immediate. Some wounds heal layer by layer. Some scars require patience. And some forms of restoration happen so deeply inside your soul that progress becomes invisible before it becomes visible. Do not mistake slow healing for no healing. I am still restoring you even during quiet seasons. I am rebuilding confidence where insecurity once lived. I am restoring peace where anxiety once ruled your thoughts. I am teaching your heart how to trust again without living in constant fear. And though the process feels uncomfortable sometimes, transformation is happening within you. The enemy wants you to believe you will always feel broken, always feel anxious, always feel emotionally exhausted. But that is not your future. Your future carries healing. Your future carries freedom. Your future carries joy that pain could not permanently destroy. There is still beauty ahead of you, still purpose ahead of you, still peace waiting for you beyond this current struggle. Do not let temporary emotional storms convince you that your life will always feel heavy forever. Storms pass, wounds heal, hearts recover, and souls grow stronger through seasons they once thought would destroy them. Some of the compassion you now carry came from your own suffering. Some of the wisdom you now possess came from painful experiences. Some of the strength inside you developed during moments when you had no choice but to depend on me. Nothing you survived was meaningless. Even now, the pain you once hated may eventually become the reason someone else finds hope through your story. That is how redemption works. I bring light into dark places, purpose into painful seasons, healing into wounded hearts. And I am still doing that inside you right now. There are moments when you feel emotionally alone because nobody around you fully understands your inner battles. But understand this clearly today. You are not fighting by yourself. I am walking beside you every step, even during silent nights, even during emotional breakdowns, even during moments when your faith feels weak. I remain near. And I am not disappointed by your humanity. I am not angry because you feel tired. I am not rejecting you because you struggle emotionally sometimes. I know healing is a process, and I am patient with your journey. So stop rushing yourself. Stop comparing your healing timeline to others. Stop believing the lie that because you still struggle sometimes, you are failing spiritually. No. You are healing. You are growing. You are learning how to live beyond survival mode. And one day you will realize that the season where you felt most broken became the season where I quietly rebuilt your heart, stronger than before. If this message speaks deeply to your spirit today, type "God is healing me" in the comments, and continue listening until the very end, because these messages are here to restore your peace, strengthen your faith, renew your heart, and help guide you toward emotional healing, spiritual growth, lasting hope, and true freedom. There were nights when you cried so quietly that nobody around you ever knew how much pain you were carrying. You wiped your tears before anyone could ask questions. You smiled through conversations while your heart silently felt heavy. You kept telling people you were okay, because explaining the depth of your exhaustion felt impossible. But I saw every tear. Not one moment of your suffering escaped my attention. Not one silent prayer went unheard. Not one painful night was invisible to me. My child, the tears you cried were never wasted. Even the tears you thought nobody cared about mattered deeply to me. You often think pain has no purpose while you are walking through it. You ask why certain seasons hurt so much. You wonder why healing takes time. You question why life sometimes feels unfair, despite your efforts to stay strong and faithful. But there are things happening inside your soul during painful seasons that comfort alone could never produce. Pain has a way of revealing what truly lives inside the heart. It reveals hidden fears, hidden wounds, hidden insecurities. And though those discoveries feel uncomfortable, they are often the beginning of deep healing. Some of you became stronger through suffering in ways you still do not recognize. Before certain storms entered your life, you depended heavily on people, circumstances, and temporary things for your peace. But difficult seasons taught you that true stability can only be found in me. You learned how fragile human approval can be. You learned how quickly life can change. You learned that money, success, and external comfort cannot fully heal an anxious soul. And through all of it, I kept drawing you closer to my heart. Not to punish you, not to break you, but to teach you where lasting peace is truly found. I know some of you still carry grief from things you lost relationships, lost opportunities, lost seasons of life that can never return. And grief has a way of making the heart feel tired. Sometimes you miss people who are no longer part of your journey. Sometimes you mourn versions of yourself that existed before life became painful. Sometimes you look back, wishing certain chapters had ended differently. But listen carefully today. Just because something ended does not mean your future ended too. Some endings are painful because they create space for transformation. Some losses reveal what was unhealthy. Some heartbreaks expose where healing is still needed. And though letting go hurts deeply, clinging to what continuously wounds your spirit will hurt even more over time. You keep asking why certain people walked away from your life. But not everyone who leaves is meant to destroy you. Sometimes separation becomes protection. There are people I remove because they would delay your healing. There are connections I close because they would damage your peace. There are seasons I end because your future cannot grow properly inside your past. Trust me, even when goodbyes hurt. Trust me, even when transitions feel uncomfortable. Trust me, even when your heart struggles to understand why things changed. I see the full picture while you only see one painful moment. And I promise you this, I can still bring beauty from broken chapters. You may feel emotionally tired right now because grief has been sitting heavily on your heart. Some mornings you wake up already feeling drained. Some nights your thoughts become overwhelming. Some days sadness appears suddenly without warning. But sadness is not proof that you are weak spiritually. Grief is part of healing too. Even strong hearts need time to recover after emotional wounds. Do not shame yourself for feeling deeply. Your sensitivity is not a flaw. Your emotions are not your enemy. I created you with a heart capable of deep love, and hearts that love deeply also feel pain, deeply sometimes. But do not stay trapped there forever. Do not build a home inside sorrow. There is still life ahead of you, still laughter ahead of you, still peace waiting ahead of you. The enemy wants you to believe your best days already passed. He wants disappointment to convince you that joy can never fully return again. But he is lying. Your story is not over. There are still prayers waiting to be answered, still blessings developing quietly, still healing unfolding beneath the surface, still purpose attached to your future. You survived too much to give up now, and even during the moments when you felt weakest emotionally, I never stopped holding you together. You thought you were barely surviving certain seasons, but my grace kept carrying you when your own strength ran out. That is why you are still here, not because life has been easy, but because I remain faithful through every storm. One day you will look back at the tears you cried and realize they watered the growth that was quietly happening inside your spirit all along. The pain did not destroy you. It refined you, strengthened you, deepened your compassion, and taught you how desperately your soul needs me. Nothing you suffered was meaningless. Even now, I am turning painful chapters into wisdom, maturity, and deeper purpose. So do not lose hope during this process. Do not believe the lie that healing will never come. Do not allow temporary sadness to convince you that permanent darkness is your future. Light is still coming. Peace is still coming. Restoration is still coming. And I am walking beside you through every step of the journey. If you believe God is turning your pain into purpose, type, "My tears were not wasted," in the comments, and continue listening until the very end. Because these messages are here to strengthen your spirit, restore your hope, heal emotional wounds, and guide your life toward peace, healing, freedom, and deeper faith than ever before. There is a reason your spirit has been feeling restless lately, a reason why certain things no longer satisfy you the way they once did, a reason why some relationships feel different now, a reason why old habits no longer bring peace to your soul. It is because I am preparing you for a new season. You cannot step into new growth while remaining attached to everything from your old life. Some mindsets must change. Some wounds must heal. Some distractions must lose their hold over your heart. And though transition seasons often feel uncomfortable, they are necessary for transformation. My child, I know change scares you sometimes. You like familiarity because familiarity feels safe. Even unhealthy situations can become difficult to leave simply because they are familiar. You hold on to certain people, places, and patterns because part of you fears what will happen if you finally let go. But growth often begins where comfort ends. The person you are becoming cannot continue living emotionally chained to everything from your past. There are places I am leading you where fear cannot control you anymore. Places where insecurity cannot continue speaking louder than truth. Places where peace becomes stronger than anxiety. But to reach those places, you must be willing to trust me during the transition. Some of you are grieving old versions of your life right now. You miss how things used to be. You miss people who are no longer close to you. You miss seasons when life felt simpler and lighter. But do not confuse familiarity with destiny. Not everything that feels comfortable is meant to remain forever. There are seasons that expire, connections that shift, doors that close. And while those endings can hurt deeply, they also create room for new beginnings that align more closely with the future I have prepared for you. You keep asking me to bless your future while secretly resisting the changes required to reach it. But healing requires change. Growth requires change. Peace requires change. And sometimes the greatest act of faith is simply letting go of what no longer belongs in your life. I know uncertainty feels uncomfortable. I know you wish you could see every detail ahead before moving forward. But if I revealed the entire journey at once, fear might stop you from taking the first step. That is why I guide you one season at a time. Trust grows gradually. Faith deepens gradually. And transformation often happens slowly, beneath the surface, before it becomes visible externally. Right now, I am reshaping parts of your heart, teaching you discernment, teaching you boundaries, teaching you how to protect your peace instead of constantly sacrificing yourself to keep everyone else comfortable. Some of you spent years abandoning your own emotional well-being trying to make others happy. You ignored your own exhaustion. You tolerated treatment that wounded your spirit. You stayed silent about things that hurt you deeply because you feared conflict or rejection. But silence has been costing you peace. You were not created to live emotionally drained every day. You were not created to carry everyone else while neglecting yourself completely. There are people you cannot save through your own strength. There are burdens that do not belong on your shoulders. And there are seasons where choosing peace becomes necessary for survival. Stop feeling guilty for protecting your heart. Rest is not weakness. Boundaries are not cruelty. And walking away from constant emotional harm is not failure. Wisdom knows when to stay and when to leave. I am teaching you that now. The enemy wants you to remain emotionally trapped in cycles that continuously break your spirit. He wants fear to keep you stuck in environments that destroy your confidence. He wants guilt to prevent you from stepping into healthier spaces. But I am calling you forward, forward into healing, forward into peace, forward into greater emotional freedom. Not every chapter deserves permanent access to your future. Some things must end so new life can begin. And yes, transition seasons can feel lonely sometimes. Growth often separates you from environments that once felt familiar. But loneliness during transformation is temporary. Do not run backward simply because moving forward feels unfamiliar. There are better days ahead of you, healthier relationships ahead of you, greater peace ahead of you. You are not losing your life. You are becoming who I created you to be. And though the process feels uncomfortable at times, do not stop now. You are closer to breakthrough than you realize, closer to healing than you realize, closer to emotional freedom than you realize. The pressure you feel is not proof that I abandoned you. Sometimes pressure is simply proof that transformation is happening. A seed breaks open before growth appears. And in the same way, certain parts of your old life are breaking apart so something stronger can grow from within you. Do not fear the process. Trust me through it. Even now, while life feels uncertain, I am arranging things behind the scenes for your good. I am closing doors that would eventually hurt you. I am aligning connections that will strengthen you. I am building wisdom inside you that will protect your future peace. Nothing is wasted, not the waiting, not the heartbreak, not the confusion, not even the painful transitions. I can use all of it to shape a stronger, wiser, more peaceful version of you. And one day, you will thank me for the seasons that forced you to grow beyond what was familiar. If you are ready to trust God with your new season, type, "I am ready for transformation" in the comments. And stay with these messages until the very end, because they are here to strengthen your spirit, renew your mind, heal emotional wounds, and help guide your life toward peace, wisdom, restoration, purpose, and lasting faith. And if these messages are encouraging your heart and helping you grow spiritually, take a moment to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who may need hope today. And if you feel blessed by these words and want to help support this ministry so these messages continue reaching lives around the world, you can use the support link below. There are burdens in your life that have become so familiar to you that you no longer realize how heavy they truly are. You carry stress every day. You carry pressure to succeed. You carry fear about the future. You carry emotional wounds from the past. You carry responsibilities that drain your energy. And slowly, without noticing it, your soul has become exhausted from trying to hold everything together by yourself. But hear me clearly today. You were never meant to carry life alone. I never asked you to become your own source of strength. I never asked you to survive every storm without leaning on me. Yet so often, you keep trying to fight battles using only your own understanding, your own energy, and your own control. And when your strength begins failing, you blame yourself for being tired. But even strong people break when they carry too much alone. My child, some of the exhaustion you feel is not because you are weak. It is because you have been carrying burdens I told you to release. You worry about things you cannot control. You replay conversations that already ended. You imagine disasters that have not even happened. You pressure yourself to fix everyone around you while secretly neglecting your own soul. And the weight keeps growing heavier. I see how hard you try. I see the effort nobody else notices. I see the hidden emotional battles behind your quiet smile. But I am asking you today to stop trying to become your own savior. You cannot heal your soul through constant overthinking. You cannot find peace while holding tightly to fear. And you cannot continue pouring into others while your own heart remains empty. That is why I keep calling you back to rest. Not temporary distraction. Not fake peace. Real rest. The kind of rest that reaches deep into your spirit and reminds you that you do not have to fight every battle alone anymore. Some of you feel guilty when you slow down. You believe resting means laziness. You believe taking care of your mental and emotional health means weakness. But even your body was created with limits. You are human, and humans need renewal. You cannot continue running on exhaustion forever. That constant heaviness inside your chest is not how I created you to live. You were created for peace too, for joy too, for healing too. The world teaches you to survive through pressure, but I teach you to survive through surrender. Surrender does not mean giving up on life. It means releasing control into my hands. It means trusting me with the things that are too heavy for your heart to carry alone. Some burdens belong to me, not you. You keep carrying tomorrow's worries before tomorrow even arrives. You try solving future problems inside your mind endlessly, and anxiety keeps stealing today's peace from you. But fear about tomorrow cannot protect you from tomorrow. It only destroys your present peace. Trust me, one day at a time, one step at a time, one prayer at a time. You do not need every answer immediately. You do not need to understand every delay. You do not need to carry every outcome yourself. I am already standing in the future you are afraid of, and I will still be with you there too. The enemy wants you emotionally overwhelmed, because overwhelmed people stop hearing my voice clearly. Fear clouds your vision. Stress drains your strength. Anxiety makes you believe you are trapped forever. But you are not trapped. You are simply tired. And tired hearts need rest in my presence. There are moments when you think nobody understands how overwhelmed you truly feel. You continue functioning outwardly, while inwardly your thoughts feel heavy and chaotic. But I understand fully. I know the pressure you never speak about. I know the emotional weight hidden behind your responsibilities. I know how hard you try to stay strong for others, while secretly feeling drained yourself. And I am not asking you to pretend anymore. Bring me your weariness. Bring me your frustration. Bring me your confusion about life. Bring me your fears about the future. Nothing you carry is too heavy for me. Some of you are still holding on to pain because part of you fears letting go. You became so used to surviving through stress that peace now feels unfamiliar. But constant suffering was never meant to become your identity. You deserve healing too. You deserve peace too. You deserve freedom from the emotional chains that have exhausted your spirit for years. And yes, healing takes time. Peace grows gradually. Trust develops slowly. But every time you choose to release your burdens into my hands instead of carrying them alone, your soul becomes lighter. That is how freedom begins. Little by little, day by day, prayer by prayer. Do not lose hope because the process feels slow. Some healing happens deeply before it becomes visible externally. I am restoring you from the inside out, strengthening the parts nobody sees, calming fears nobody understands, healing wounds nobody knows about. And one day, you will look back and realize that the moment you finally stopped carrying everything alone became the moment peace truly began returning to your life. If you are ready to release your burdens into God's hands today, type, "I surrender my burdens," in the comments, and continue listening until the very end, because these messages are here to strengthen your spirit, renew your peace, heal emotional wounds, and guide your life toward rest, restoration, freedom, wisdom, and deeper faith than ever before. There are struggles inside you that nobody fully understands, battles you hide behind your smile, questions you keep buried deep inside your thoughts, fears you never speak aloud because you worry people may judge you, misunderstand you, or simply not care enough to listen. But I know every hidden battle. I know the moments when anxiety suddenly grips your heart for no clear reason. I know the nights when your thoughts become so loud that sleep feels impossible. I know the pressure you carry from trying to appear strong while secretly feeling overwhelmed inside. And today I want you to understand something deeply. You do not have to fight these battles alone anymore. For too long, you have suffered in silence. You became used to saying, "I'm fine," even when your soul felt exhausted. You learned how to survive emotionally while still carrying invisible wounds. But surviving is not the same as healing. And I want more for your life than constant survival mode. My child, some of the heaviest battles happen inside the mind. Battles no one else can physically see. Battles where fear fights against faith, where peace fights against anxiety, where hope fights against despair. And because those battles are invisible, you sometimes feel guilty for struggling so much internally. You ask yourself why your heart feels so tired, why your thoughts feel so heavy, why certain fears keep returning even after you pray. But emotional battles do not mean you are spiritually weak. They mean you are human. Even strong souls become weary after carrying pain too long without rest. The enemy wants you to believe your struggles make you unworthy of love, peace, or purpose. He whispers lies telling you that because you still struggle emotionally sometimes, you are failing. But listen carefully. Struggling does not mean you are abandoned. Feeling overwhelmed does not mean I left you. Having emotional battles does not cancel the purpose over your life. I remain near even during your weakest moments. Especially during your weakest moments. Some of you feel exhausted because you are constantly fighting thoughts that attack your worth. Thoughts telling you that you are not enough. Thoughts reminding you of old mistakes. Thoughts convincing you that your future will never improve. But not every thought deserves your agreement. Some thoughts were sent only to weaken your spirit. That is why you must learn to guard your mind carefully. The words you repeat internally shape the condition of your soul. If you constantly speak hopelessness over yourself, your heart grows heavier. If you constantly expect failure, fear gains stronger influence over your decisions. But when you begin speaking truth over your life, healing slowly begins growing within you. You are not worthless. You are not forgotten. You are not beyond restoration. And your future is not ruined because you are still healing emotionally. I know some of you secretly fear that you will always feel this way forever. Always anxious, always tired, always emotionally overwhelmed. But this season is not permanent. You are healing more than you realize. Even now, while life feels confusing, I am strengthening you internally, teaching you resilience, teaching you dependence on me, teaching you how to survive storms without losing your identity completely. You have already survived moments you once believed would destroy you. Do not forget that. There were nights you thought you would never emotionally recover from. There were situations that nearly broke your spirit. Yet somehow, I carried you through. Not because life became easy, but because my grace stayed over your life even when your own strength failed. That same grace is still carrying you now. And stop being ashamed of needing rest emotionally. The world praises constant productivity, but exhausted hearts cannot heal properly without stillness. Sometimes you need moments with me, moments where your spirit can breathe again, moments where fear becomes quiet enough for peace to return slowly. You do not need to have everything figured out immediately. You do not need to solve your entire future overnight. You only need to keep walking with me one day at a time. One prayer at a time, one step at a time. That is how healing grows. Gradually, deeply, faithfully. There are parts of your story that still hurt because healing is still unfolding there. Be patient with yourself during this process. Stop condemning yourself every time sadness returns unexpectedly. Stop feeling guilty for being emotionally tired after difficult seasons. Healing hearts need grace too. And I am full of grace toward you. I am not disappointed because you still struggle. I am not rejecting you because fear visits your thoughts sometimes. I am staying beside you while you heal, while you grow, while you slowly rediscover peace again. The battles inside your mind may feel invisible to others, but they are not invisible to me. And I promise you this, your struggle is not stronger than my ability to restore you. Light still reaches dark places. Hope still rises after painful seasons. Peace still returns after emotional storms. And your story is still being written by hands greater than fear. Do not give up on yourself now. You are closer to healing than you realize, closer to freedom than you realize, closer to peace than you realize. One day you will look back and recognize that the battles which once exhausted you became the very battles that taught you how deeply you needed my presence all along. If this message speaks directly into your heart today, type "God understands my battles" in the comments, and continue staying until the very end, because these messages are here to strengthen your spirit, calm your mind, restore your hope, and guide your life toward deeper healing, lasting peace, emotional freedom, wisdom, and unshakable faith. There are moments when you feel like nothing is changing. You pray, but the answer seems delayed. You try to stay hopeful, but disappointment keeps whispering in your ear. You keep moving forward, yet life still feels heavy. And because you cannot see immediate results, you secretly wonder if your breakthrough will ever come. But listen carefully today. Just because you cannot see movement does not mean nothing is happening. Some of the greatest breakthroughs begin quietly beneath the surface before they ever become visible. Seeds grow underground long before anyone sees fruit above the soil. And in the same way, I have been working deeply within your life, even during seasons that felt silent. My child, you are much closer to healing than you realize, closer to peace than you realize, closer to answered prayers than you realize. But the enemy wants discouragement to make you quit too early. He wants waiting seasons to convince you that your prayers are pointless. He wants delays to make you believe you were forgotten. But you have not been forgotten for one moment. Even now, while you are listening to these words, things are shifting that you cannot yet fully see. Strength is growing inside you. Wisdom is developing inside you. Old wounds are slowly losing power over your thoughts. And though the process feels slow, transformation is happening. You often expect breakthrough to arrive suddenly and dramatically. But many times, breakthrough begins through small changes within the heart first. A calmer mind, a softer spirit, a little more hope than yesterday, a little less fear than before. That is still progress. Do not overlook quiet healing simply because it is not loud. Some miracles happen internally before they appear externally. I know there were seasons where you almost gave up completely. Seasons where exhaustion reached deep into your soul. Seasons where you felt emotionally numb because pain lasted longer than expected. Yet somehow, you kept going, even with tired faith, even with trembling hope, even with unanswered questions. You kept moving forward. And that matters more than you realize. You think I only honor perfect faith, but I also honor weary faith that refuses to completely let go. Faith is not pretending life never hurts. Faith is continuing to trust me even while healing slowly. That is what you have been doing. And I am proud of the strength growing inside you through these difficult seasons. Some of you are frustrated because your life does not look the way you expected by now. You thought certain prayers would already be answered. You thought healing would already feel complete. You thought doors would already be open. But timing matters more than you currently understand. There are blessings that require preparation before arrival. There are doors that cannot open safely until your heart grows stronger. There are prayers that must develop slowly because sudden answers would overwhelm you emotionally or spiritually. Trust my timing even when it stretches your patience. You see delay. I see preparation. You see waiting. I see growth. You see silence. I see hidden work happening beyond your vision. Nothing about your current season is meaningless. Even now, while you feel uncertain, I am arranging things for your future peace. I am teaching you discernment, teaching you emotional strength, teaching you how to depend on me instead of temporary things. Because temporary things cannot sustain your soul forever. Only my presence can. The world keeps teaching people to search for peace in achievement, money, relationships, or status. But you are learning something deeper now. You are learning that true peace must exist internally before external success can truly satisfy your heart. That lesson is valuable. Do not waste it. Some of the people you admire today were shaped through hidden seasons. Nobody celebrated publicly. They cried privately, waited privately, healed privately, and eventually, strength emerged from those hidden places. That is happening for you too. Do not compare your process to somebody else's visible chapter. You are still becoming, still growing, still healing. And growth is not always obvious immediately. I know there are nights when fear still visits your mind and tells you nothing will improve. But fear does not know your future. I do. And your future still carries hope, still carries purpose, still carries joy that pain could not permanently steal. There are better days ahead of you, healthier relationships ahead of you, greater emotional freedom ahead of you, moments of peace you cannot yet fully imagine. Do not let temporary exhaustion make permanent decisions for your life. You survived too much already to quit now. The breakthrough you prayed for may be developing far closer than you realize. And often, the enemy attacks hardest right before healing, growth, and transformation begin becoming visible. That is why you must stay rooted in faith now more than ever. Do not let discouragement pull you backward. Do not let delay convince you to stop believing. Do not let fear speak louder than my promises over your life. I am still guiding you, still protecting you, still healing you, still preparing a future greater than the pain standing behind you. One day you will look back at this difficult season and realize that while you thought nothing was happening, I was quietly rebuilding your life from the inside out. If you believe your breakthrough is closer than you think, type "God is preparing my breakthrough" in the comments and continue staying until the very end. Because these messages are here to strengthen your faith, renew your spirit, calm your mind, heal emotional wounds, and guide your life toward lasting peace, restoration, purpose, freedom, and hope. There was a time when trusting felt easier for you. Before disappointment wounded your heart. Before betrayal changed the way you looked at people. Before unanswered prayers made you question whether good things would truly happen for your life. But after enough pain, your heart became cautious. You started protecting yourself emotionally. You stopped expecting too much because disappointment felt safer than hope. And little by little, fear replaced trust inside parts of your spirit. But today, I want to heal that place within you. My child, pain has taught you how to survive, but now I want to teach you how to trust again. Not blindly, not foolishly, but deeply and peacefully through me. I know why your heart became guarded. I saw the moments when people broke promises they made to you. I saw the moments when you gave your love sincerely and still got hurt. I saw the prayers you prayed with tears that seemed unanswered for so long. And I know part of you became afraid to fully trust again because you feared more disappointment. But hear me carefully. Not every future chapter will repeat the pain of your past. Healing means learning that your story is not trapped inside old heartbreak forever. Some of you have become so focused on protecting yourselves emotionally that you no longer allow yourselves to fully receive love, peace, or joy anymore. You expect loss before connection even begins. You expect rejection before people truly know you. You prepare for heartbreak before happiness even has a chance to grow. Fear taught you to expect abandonment. But I am teaching you something different now. I am teaching you that peace is still possible. Healthy love is still possible. Emotional freedom is still possible. And most importantly, trust in me is still safe. The enemy wants painful experiences to harden your heart permanently. He wants disappointment to turn into bitterness. He wants betrayal to destroy your ability to trust. Because once bitterness takes root deeply enough, peace becomes difficult to maintain. That is why you must protect your heart carefully. Do not allow pain to transform you into someone consumed by fear and resentment. Yes, what happened hurt. Yes, certain losses changed you deeply. But you do not have to become imprisoned by those experiences forever. I am still healing the places where trust was broken. Slowly, patiently, lovingly. And part of that healing means learning to release control. You try to protect yourself by controlling outcomes. You overthink situations before they even happen. You imagine worst-case scenarios constantly because you believe preparedness will prevent pain. But constant fear cannot truly protect your heart. It only exhausts your spirit. Peace begins when you finally trust that I can hold your future safely, even when uncertainty still exists. Trust does not mean you will never face another storm. Trust means you believe I will remain with you through every storm that comes. That changes everything. Some of you are frustrated because you thought healing would happen faster. You thought your heart would already feel lighter by now. But healing broken trust takes time because deep wounds require deep restoration. Be patient with yourself. Do not shame yourself because you still feel cautious sometimes. Growth is happening even if it feels gradual. Every time you choose hope over fear, healing grows. Every time you release bitterness, healing grows. Every time you trust me despite uncertainty, healing grows. And though you may not fully see it yet, your heart is becoming softer again, stronger again, freer again. I know there are moments when loneliness still makes you question your value. You wonder if anyone truly understands your heart deeply. You wonder if you will ever feel emotionally safe again. But you are never alone. Not in your fears, not in your healing, not in your waiting seasons. I remain close through all of it. Even during silent nights when your thoughts feel heavy. Even during moments when your faith feels small. Even during emotional battles nobody else notices, I stay. That is the kind of love I have for you. A faithful love, a steady love, a love that does not disappear every time life becomes difficult. You do not need to earn my loyalty. You already have it. And because of that, you can stop carrying the constant fear that everything good must eventually disappear from your life. Some things are temporary. But my presence is not. My love is not. My grace is not. You are safer in my hands than fear wants you to believe. There are beautiful things ahead of you that fear cannot yet imagine. Healthy connections, deeper peace, greater emotional stability, new opportunities, new joy, new strength. But to experience those things fully, you must stop allowing old pain to dictate your future expectations. You are not the same person you were during your darkest season. You have grown, you have learned, you have survived. And now, I am leading you into deeper trust again. Trust in my timing. Trust in my protection. Trust in my ability to restore what pain tried to destroy. One day you will look back and realize that the season where trust felt hardest became the season where your relationship with me grew deepest. If you are ready to trust God again with your future, type, "I trust God with my heart," in the comments, and continue staying until the very end, because these messages are here to restore your peace, strengthen your faith, heal emotional wounds, renew your hope, and guide your life toward lasting freedom, wisdom, joy, and deeper trust in God every single day. There is something shifting inside you right now, even if you cannot fully explain it yet. You may still have questions. You may still have moments of fear. You may still feel tired from the battles you have faced, but deep within your spirit, something is changing. Your heart is no longer willing to stay trapped in the same darkness. Your soul is beginning to desire peace more than chaos, and your spirit is slowly awakening to the truth that your life was never meant to remain broken forever. My child, this is not the end of your story. This is the beginning of transformation. For too long you survived emotionally instead of truly living. You woke up carrying heaviness before the day even started. You smiled while secretly struggling. You kept moving forward physically, while inwardly your heart felt exhausted. But I did not create you only to survive life. I created you to walk in peace, to live with purpose, to experience healing, to know deeply that you are loved beyond measure. And now I am teaching you how to live differently, not controlled by fear, not controlled by shame, not controlled by the wounds of your past, but guided by truth, guided by peace, guided by my presence. I know the battles that almost broke you completely. I know there were moments when you questioned whether things would ever improve. I know there were nights when loneliness felt overwhelming and mornings when your heart felt too tired to keep trying. But through every storm, I remained with you. Even when your faith became weak, even when your prayers became silent, even when you felt emotionally numb, I stayed. And because I stayed, your story continued. You are still here for a reason, still breathing for a reason, still listening to these words for a reason. There is purpose attached to your life that pain could not destroy. There is calling attached to your future that fear could not cancel. There is strength inside you that even you have not fully discovered yet. The enemy tried to convince you that your brokenness defined you forever. He tried to make you believe that anxiety, fear, disappointment, and regret would always control your life. But he was wrong. You are healing. You are becoming stronger through every battle you survived. And even now, while you feel uncertain about certain parts of the future, I am already preparing the path ahead of you. There are blessings you have not seen yet, doors you have not walked through yet, people you have not met yet, moments of peace you have not experienced yet. Do not let temporary pain make permanent conclusions about your future. Your best days are not behind you. There is still beauty ahead, still restoration ahead, still joy ahead, still healing ahead. Some of you have spent years doubting yourselves because of what life put you through. You became harsh toward your own heart. You spoke to yourself through the language of fear instead of the language of grace. But today I need you to see yourself differently. You are not weak because you struggled. You are not worthless because you experienced failure. You are not abandoned because life became difficult. You are loved, deeply loved, completely loved, and nothing about your pain has ever changed that truth. Stop measuring your worth through the opinions of people who could never fully understand your soul. Stop defining yourself through old mistakes. Stop allowing fear to speak louder than my promises over your life. You belong to me, and because of that, your life still carries meaning, value, and purpose beyond what you can currently imagine. The healing process may not always feel easy, but every step matters. Every prayer matters. Every moment you choose hope over fear matters. Every time you get back up after emotional exhaustion matters. You are not failing because healing takes time. You are becoming, and becoming requires patience. Some transformations happen quietly, deeply, slowly, but they are still real. Even now, I am rebuilding confidence inside you, restoring peace inside you, teaching your heart how to trust again, teaching your mind how to rest again, teaching your soul that joy is still possible after pain. Do not rush the process. Do not quit halfway through your healing. And do not return to the darkness I already began leading you out of. The future ahead of you needs the healed version of you, the peaceful version of you, the stronger version of you. That is who you are becoming now. One day you will look back at this season and realize that what felt like the breaking point of your life became the very place where transformation truly began. And when that day comes, you will understand something beautiful. I never abandoned you during your hardest moments. I was rebuilding you from the inside out the entire time. If you believe God is transforming your life today, type, "My life is changing through God," in the comments. And before you go, remember this. Stay close to these messages until the very end of your journey, because your spirit needs truth daily in a world filled with fear, confusion, and emotional exhaustion. Keep allowing these words to strengthen your heart, renew your faith, heal your mind, and guide you toward peace, freedom, purpose, and deeper connection with God. And if these messages have blessed your life, encouraged your heart, or helped you feel closer to God, take a moment to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who may need hope today. And if you feel led to support this ministry so these words can continue reaching hurting hearts around the world, you can use the support link below.